You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your weekly DMV sports update, and I am your host, C-Wall, checking in, as I like to do, to give you all of the updates, the highlights of what is going on in the DMV sports-wise. So, how's everyone? How are you doing? DMV sports fans, what's going on? How are you doing? How's it? Drop in the chat. We're going to go ahead because you all know the drill. You know the drill. And we're going to get started early with all of the things that are involved in the drill. But first, I have to tell you, this is a live Bowie television recording. Everything we say and do here will be shared on Bowie television, which you can watch Coaching from the Couch each and every single day. Did you all know that? Verizon, Channel 11, Comcast Xfinity, Channel 77, 1:30 to 2:30 every single day. Ask a great question, have an amazing comment. We'll show it up on the screen, and then you'll get to have your comment all up on the Tizoo. Okay? So you all, look, hit that love button. Say hello to Mama Waller and Pops Waller. Share this show with your DMV sports loving family and friends. I know that Commanders fans want to get right on into it. I know. And I already see the comment here from Steve Davidson. I've already seen this. So you get to have your comment up there, right? Make sure you're sharing this show with your fam and friends. We have a lot to discuss. Definitely, though, before we get to the Commanders, you want to stay locked in. But we have to talk Wizards first. We have to talk Wizards end of season first. I see Cameron Mingo has checked in. Damon has checked in. You all absolutely hit that love button, drop a fire emoji, because we got to get into. We do have to do Wizards season. We do. At first it was a slow news day, and then it wasn't a slow news day. But we do have to check in and do Wizards end of season. Now, this won't take a long time. So if you know any Wizards fans, absolutely tag them in. Wizards fans, share the show with them. But all of your Commanders fan friends, you want them here. Hit that love button, drop that fire emoji. You want them here. And you want to know why? You know why. Steve Davidson has already said it and has already shared it. The C-Ball team has jumped in because they know that it didn't end up being a slow news day at all. Say what's up to Mazdak and to Joy. They're going to make sure all of the Wizards fans, Commanders fans are locked in, sharing the show with them. I think Steve Davidson said he's a Wizards fan. What other Wizards fans do we have? Because we're going to go from one mood to the other. Are you all right with that? We got to go from one mood to the other. And we absolutely have to address some of the things that were shared in the Wizards end of season media availability. I have to talk about that you all on the show. to kind of close out the Wizard season. It's important. I have to do it. Okay. I know that there's big Commanders news. I know. And we're going to get right there. I promise you. All right. Wizards fans. You know what? We're going to go back to a tried and true game. Now that the Wizard season is officially over. Last week I said it's over. But now it's really over. What's your one word to describe how you are feeling now that the Wizard season is over, done? Everybody gone home. So, listen. Had Kyle Kuzma's media availability was over the weekend. And then Tommy Shepard and Coach Wes Unseld Jr. and the remaining players also were on Monday. So I was able to watch. I was able to be present, therefore watching. Tommy, Wes Unseld, Monte Morris, and Bradley Beal's end of season presser. In the spirit of transparency, you all know I love to be transparent. I have to tell you all that I wasn't there for the other ones. And let me know any questions you all specifically have about those 4 pressers. I did ask a question because I know a lot about DeLon Wright has been coming up, and you all make sure you are locked in on Inside the Wizards, the Inside the Wizards page on Facebook, Inside the Wizards on Twitter, and you are reading and catching up on all of the content that we have on SI.com, Inside the Wizards, because DeLon Wright, a lot of positive feedback, great feedback on DeLon Wright. But to the question that I'm seeing in the chat, it's Inside the Wizards on Facebook and Inside the Wizards on Twitter, and you'll see the link there on there for SI.com to get all of your Wizards content. But the questions that I asked to Tommy Shepard and to Brad, I'm going to probably do Brad's first. I'm going to share Brad's with you all first, because I just am. In the presser, there was a lot that Brad shared, and by the time the microphone kind of got back around to me, I said, all right, I'm going to try to ask Brad about something positive and some bright spots that he could take away from the season. So Wizards fans, and then we're going to move into Commanders for sure. So you definitely want to lock in, hit that love button, drop that fire emoji, because we're definitely going to get into Commanders news. But first, I want to share with you Brad's comments on some of the bright spots that he saw this season, despite it not going well, this season not going well. And then I definitely want to share with you all some feedback that I received from Tommy Shepard. Check out Brad's first. Brad, can you share some of the bright spots that you've seen this year? I know you mentioned being frustrated and angry, but what are some of the bright spots?
I mean, the ability for us to be able to show that we can win and beat tough teams, and showcase we can win consistently, win 17-10, whatever it was before All-Star. We've shown we can win games, and I think that's the beauty of it. We've shown we can be consistent. We've shown we can win. We've shown those stretches of games and moments where guys played really well. We put some stuff together, and it's like, okay, this team is going to click. And then we kind of revert back to old habits and go the other way. But I think just a few positives this year, just how the young guys developed. How they continue to stay engaged. Denny having a good year. I think Corey had an awesome year. And just learning the game, happy for good. And just constant development. I think obviously we still have to be better. We still have to grow in that area, but I'm definitely proud of the young guys and how they learned and how they took advantage of opportunities when it was given. But just consistently, when we put it all together and when we're healthy, I think that was promising to see, but it's got to be more of it.
So drop in the chat your thoughts and your feedback on Brad's response to what he could come up with what some of the bright spots were for him this season. So while you're dropping those, your overall reactions to Brad's response, this next one is a little bit longer. This is Tommy Shepard's response to a question that I had for him, a couple of questions actually. But I want you all to be paying attention and listening to this with your good ears. Okay, put your good ears on and your thinking cap on as well to share what you glean from Tommy's responses to my questions. And then after we talk about that a little bit, I promise you, we're going to switch over to the Commanders news. Tommy, so looking ahead, you mentioned the draft, free agency. What are you looking for specifically from a talent and character perspective from the next players that wear a Wizards jersey?
Well, every position you evaluate, say, is this person that we have at this position, are they capable of stepping up and being a key player? Are they a role player? Are they a star in their role? Or are they, out of the rotation type? And we try to really focus on the top rotation pieces. If there's opportunities to get better in those areas through the draft, I'm a big believer. Look at the best player available. We have certain positions in need, but I think we have some vets coming back throughout our roster. That's not a need that says a rookie has to start from day one. If they earn it, they can start from day one. But I think it's better to have people come along. So I saw some impact, and anybody that thinks it's the end of the season, those aren't garbage minutes to us. They're not garbage minutes to players. I can't speak to fans, but those minutes that Johnny got, we were able to, thank goodness, the time he spent with the Go-Go, plus what he did with the Wizards. He went over 1,000 minutes this year minutes a game time. But that confidence that he took on the way out the door, 4 for 20 aside, he had a tough night last night, but I think just the confidence that he was able to get back into his swing tells you, I think he'll be a more polished player next year. Probably expect a lot more from him earlier next year. Can't rewind whatever happened to him this year. But those are the kind of players that look internally first before you go into the draft. And if there's somebody there at that position that didn't get a chance to shine, like I would use Johnny as an example, maybe that position of need isn't as pronounced as maybe people would think. I have confidence he's going to be a good player. Similar thing happened to him in Wisconsin, right? His first year was kind of almost nobody saw what was coming. And the next year he took off. And some players come quick, some players take time. You have to be patient. The draft, free agency, we'll evaluate. There's some players that things come up that we're not even thinking about right now. And there's other teams lose in the playoffs and they got to retool their roster. So you got to have a lot of conversations and continue to have conversations. I talked to 29 teams. In a month's time, I've talked to every team at least 2-3 times, just catching up with people. So you have to get a pulse on their roster, and likewise. Those things happen. Sometimes trades happen in one phone call, and sometimes they take 2 years. We'll see how it goes.
And what was the goal for this season? I know you've mentioned words like you all are disappointed, hurt to be sitting here talking with us today because the season is now over. So what was the goal for this season?
Well, as I mentioned several times, the playoffs. And at least to get the postseason and to get that opportunity to get that taste and get moving forward. I think that we didn't run from that. I don't think we sure didn't let down the prognosticators, right? We landed exactly where we were. So our internal goals were much higher than what people thought of this team. And they should be. You always want to be better than people think. And the fact that we didn't do that, we can rationalize and say, well, all these injuries, all these other things. At the end of the day, it is what you reckon is, and let's get better.
So I asked Tommy those questions because, at this point, okay, the season is over. What's your plan going forward? What are you looking for in the next player? But the question around, so what was the goal? Yeah, he had said a couple times, making the playoffs. But in my mind, I'm thinking, what is that enough? And if it is, now you're going on. Now this is what, second year in a row that you didn't meet the goal. If the goal is to make the playoffs, so if the goal is to make the playoffs and you've not made it again, And if it's not the playoffs, not the play-in, so it's to make the playoffs, then what's going to change? Because then this is 2 years in a row that you have not done that. We'll see what happens, right? Maybe more of the same. I will say this, and we absolutely gotta get to Commanders. I know there was Cool shared in his media availability of how much, not thinking that people really understand how long it takes for some players to gel. And he, KP, and Brad haven't had a lot of time to really play together, gel together, and the broader team as well. There's been a lot of injuries, all of those things. So all of those things matter in terms of building chemistry on the court and in the game and learning each other. And that's great. But everyone knows that it's a results-driven business for certain. If the goal is to make the playoffs and you haven't made it 2 years in a row, then what needs to happen? What needs to continue to shift in order to actually make the playoffs? Because if you notice, it wasn't necessarily to say make the second round, get to the Eastern Conference Finals, win a championship. It's make the playoffs. Okay, guess you don't necessarily have to win in the playoffs, but if you make the playoffs, you've met your goal. But is that enough? Is that enough? And given that wasn't met, now what? So remains to be seen. I'm still in the Wizards stratosphere. But hey, I don't know. So far, it's been some good NBA playoffs games. So hope you all are enjoying those. At any rate, Commanders fans, good evening. Good evening to Commanders fans. How are you doing? How are you all doing? How are you feeling? How's everything going for you today? Are you doing okay? Our Commanders fans, I said, we're going to continue because I have to talk Wizards end of season media availability. But Commanders fans, what's your one word? What is your one word to describe how you are feeling with the most recent sale news? And I want to shout out one of my very good friends. He's watching from YouTube, Eric Steiner. Actually, I would actually love for Steiner to put his name in the hat for offensive line. Because hey, why not at this point? They need good starters, consistency. Ed needed some depth. So Steiner, get on out there because they need you. They absolutely need you. And so I take it everyone's doing well, right? Everyone is doing well. And so I don't even know what it is for me to say. I don't even know because I guess, we didn't have necessarily a script to run a show for this part of the show, to be honest with you. Because I said, I'm tired of saying the same thing that I've been saying. Love button, fire emoji. If I told you this day was coming, it's coming. It's here. It's here. Just sit tight. I know it's been a long, horrid way to go, but it's just, it's a lot. And it's been rough. And it's been a lot for me. I've expressed my frustration. You all have seen me, vent and kind of lose my cool a couple times. Not a whole lot, but a couple times. And some of you all know, it's tough. It's tough covering it. It's tough. It's just tough. And so the sun is shining, isn't it? And doesn't it feel good? Listen, I really didn't have anything. I just, you all have shared what you all wanted to say in terms of your one word. I don't know. I just keep shrugging my shoulders in terms of, do you want to hear me say it again? because I've said it. I've been telling everybody for years. The team is getting sold. It's got to. It's too much in these reports and what's happening. It's just sell it and good. It's it's sold and it's happening. Yeah, okay. Other people are interested. Well, of course they are. But hey, y'all, it's a long time coming. Washington fans, you deserve it. You deserve it. Everybody deserves it. I deserve it. Um, Players, organization, staff, everybody deserves it. And I'm gonna say this. So let's talk as if it is now officially official that the league has taken the Josh Harris group proposal. The finance committee, everybody, the owners, everybody has accepted it. We're going to take this $6.05 billion. Thank you so much, Josh Harris, and your group, and welcome to the ownership. I do want to share some of what I have learned about Josh Harris specifically, because I think this is helpful. What I've learned about Josh Harris is that his employees, his staff, they love him. Players love him. He just believes in healthy work environments. He believes in overall wellness. He believes in rewarding people and treating them well for the great work and the hard work that they do. An environment of harsh and disrespect, all that is not tolerated under his tenure. It is not tolerated in his teams. His staff, they absolutely love him. And I hope that is a consideration for the league and other owners when they're, gauging whatever it is they need to gauge, to say, okay, because that's one of the things that we all know needed to be addressed. I think when names were being thrown around and tossed around about who was a potential owner, you have to think and go down the list of all the issues that the Commanders had over Daniel Snyder's tenure. And you have to say, okay, well, which one of these owners who putting in these bids, who helps address that issue? Who helps address workplace, toxic culture? Who helps to address how fans are treated? Who helps to address the amenities at a stadium, at an edifice that you want people to come to and enjoy? Who has done a good job at changing overall culture while their teams are still doing fairly well? That was an important piece that I think a lot of folks were missing because they were just looking at who had the money to buy it, which makes sense because maybe people really don't care about the workplace. You just care about who got the money to buy it. But I think there's something to be said when you really check the character and the track record of a potential owner's, who they are. That's important. And I can tell you this, Josh Harris, people, they love him. They really, really like, I was sitting up there talking to somebody and I was like, well, do I need to go and work for him? Because wow, that's really nice. So that's my spiel and what I wanted to share with you all about what I have learned about Josh Harris and how he treats his employees and what the culture is like working for someone like him. And I think that's a very important point. So Starter has already asked the question and it has nothing to do with when you're going to go try out for the Commanders. But nonetheless, have you heard anything about another potential bidder since they have inked the deal yet? Well, that's been the whole holdup. It's been the interest of others in wondering if, in terms of exactly who we've discussed, who has put in a bid, and much of that I think is public news now. But there's also been, others that are interested. Now that becomes the other kind of gotcha potentially, which is, could someone else swoop in and put in more than 6.05? Probably already did, maybe potentially. But if Dan has accepted this agreement, nothing is signed yet. there's still a process to this. That means this is the one that he's accepted. This is the one he says, I'll sell it to you. NFL, the ball is in your court. Now, is it a possibility potentially that some of the NFL owners might say, well, wait, I would like for somebody else to buy it? Sure. But I think folks want this behind them. I think the public news today was all everybody needed to know to say this will be public soon, y'all. Just hold on. There's a lot of technicalities, whatever. Could someone else come in? And I believe I'm just gonna call him Mr. A because I can't honestly say his last name. He's still in the mix as well. But the proposal in the bid that Daniel Snyder has taken to the league is that of Josh Hare's group. That is the one that's what he's done. So there's that. Any other questions? The draft is coming up. Maybe I should tell you all that. I really did not have, I'm serious. And y'all know I'm extra prepared all the time. But I always say, okay, we could talk about this. We could do this. We could do that. And so, but here's some dates I want to tell you all. Y'all got y'all pen and paper? Let me give you all a few dates. Off-season dates. I think this is important. I think you all would like this part of the conversation. Once this got public, I was just like, I don't know. I got to talk about the Wizards. But here we go. So, pre-draft press conference with Ron Rivera and General Manager Martin Mayhew is next week, April 20th at 2:30. Okay? That's next week. Then everybody knows April 27th through the 29th is the NFL draft. It's taking place in Kansas City. What happens with the draft is that after each round, head coach Ron Rivera and general manager Martin Mayhew meet with the media at whenever they make their pick. There was something else in here that I thought was interesting. Oh, day 3, senior director of player personnel Eric Stokes will be meeting with the media after Coach Rivera and Martin Mayhew's press conference on day 3. Rookie mini camp, May 12th through the 14th. Media can go on May the 12th. OTA sessions, May 22nd through the 25th and May 30th through June 1st. Media can go Wednesday, May 24th through and Wednesday, May 31st. And then veteran mini camp. Media can go June 6th, June 7th, potentially on June 8th. That date may be subject to change. So let's just, we had our time already. I see this comment. Chase needs to be at the off-season workouts. Yes, he does. So, whenever, hey, Russ, whenever you organize your parade, whenever anybody wants to get together, just share it. We'll share it on the show. We'll share it on Bowie Television so that you all can enjoy yourselves. Everybody deserves this moment. You absolutely do. So I guess we all got to wait until it's official. In my head, it's been official, but I'll just play along whenever the news comes out officially. And I think that's what we're all doing. Everyone just wants to do the breathe of let it be done. And I think we'll all be breathing that sigh of relief when it's done. So, you all, we've come to another conclusion of Coaching from the Couch, your weekly DMV sports update. So I will still be on next Thursday. I got to tell y'all this. I'm still on doing the live show next Thursday. And then that's actually the season finale. I'll be doing some snippets here and there. We will do a draft show where you might see some of my good friends in the sports media industry will probably, more than likely, I got to ask them first. They'll join me on the show throughout the show, and that will be on Monday, May the 1st. So I know I gave you all a whole lot of dates, but I want you all to be tuned in and locked in because we're going to have some fun. This is going to start being a whole lot of fun real soon. All right, y'all. So thank you again for watching, and I will be seeing you guys again soon.
You're not on the field or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you're not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.